Hi everyone. Among the many things that makes this week's Torah portion really special is its name, Vaera. And I appeared, I made myself known, and God here makes God's self known to Moses, saying, I knew your ancestors and they knew me, but you'll know me differently. I'm going to give you a special access to my name that they didn't have. What's really interesting is, in the Torah, Abram, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah did know God by this new name that God is saying to Moses is special and new. But for Moses, it's going to be a new knowing, a new way of knowing God. And so the language that Moses will carry forward is a more intimate kind of connection with God. But what's really powerful is that when Moses then conveys that language of freedom, of redemption, of liberation to the people, the Hebrew says, "V'lo shamu et Moshe mikotzer ruach u'me'avodah kasha," and they couldn't listen to Moshe from a shortness of spirit, a shortness of breath, and from hard labor. And you might know people, I certainly do, who have physical disabilities such that their body can be constrained, and then their lungs seem constricted, and their breath is short. How hard it must be to stretch your body to get full air. And now if generations of trauma and slavery have truly constricted someone's spirit, how can they imagine freedom? It's been generations and generations of not knowing their full potential, not knowing their capacity. It's been held back by the cruel bondage, by this heavy kind of avodah, the thing that is not holy service, it's servitude. That's one way of the Israelites not knowing themselves. What's really powerful, too, is that when Moshe is called by God, God says, go in my name, and Moshe says, not me. I can't do it. I can't. And we've seen Moshe in chapter 4 of Exodus already say, I have uncircumcised lips, I'm slow of speech, I can't do it. And yes, you can. God says, yes, you can. I gave you speech. I know what you can do. I know your capacity better than you do. But then what's really interesting, too, is when God says, go tell Pharaoh to set my people free, God hardens Pharaoh's heart, such that Pharaoh will hold back even after a few of the plagues, will keep on saying, yes, go, no, don't go. How could Pharaoh hold back the people after seeing God's wonders over and over? It's as if despite this clear knowledge of what God's capacity is, Pharaoh can't see the capacity of another God. But God, too, has this very strange way of demonstrating what it is to not know yourself. And this might be heresy for some. We'll say it anyway. In Hasidic terminology, you say kivyachol, as if this were true. So I'll say kivyachol, as if this were true, and then make a radical suggestion, which is, when Pharaoh does not heed you, says God, I will lay my hand upon Egypt and deliver my ranks, my people, the Israelites, from the land of Egypt with extraordinary chastisements, bishvatim gdolim, with all of the plagues that we've come to know. Why? So that the Egyptians will know that I am God. Isn't it interesting that for God to be known in the world, which seems to be a priority of God's, God has to make all of these wonders happen? What if God were to say to God's self, I know me, I know how much love I have in me? What if the Israelites were to say, I know me, I know how free I can be? What if Moses were to say, I know me, I know that I can lead? What if we took the time to know ourselves and then take these really magnificent steps forward? What would it feel like to have a moment of self-knowledge and then to launch into the world, to see yourself in your full capacity, your right size, taking your place and doing what you uniquely are situated and blessed to be able to do? Even God doesn't know that, somehow. Moshe doesn't know that, somehow. The Israelites don't know that, somehow. But here we are, telling their stories. What a gift it is to be able to look at the story and maybe even to see our own stories mirrored within. So for a moment, when we're done with this period of study, when I press finish and you watch and go on with the rest of your life, what if you took a moment, what if I took that moment, and we look in a mirror and just reflect, the mirror of our lives, and just reflect. What if that's what God has been doing this whole time, looking at the incredible successes of humanity and worrying about our faults, worrying about where we haven't gotten it right yet? Maybe at some point we will be able to say, I know me. And maybe when we feel that secure with ourselves and take our places in the world rightfully, maybe that's when God will be most manifest through us. saying in God's own heart, which is our hearts, I know me. I got this.